Welcome back, Rich Nation. My name is AJ, and today we're going to be continuing My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 16. Last time we got kind of a aftermath of Episode 13 and 14, seeing the, what happened, what happens, what is everybody feeling when bad things, happen like that, when, the after effects of Eri being saved and Night Eye dying and all that. It's definitely, we see that it's hard for everybody else. But also at the tail end, we see that the Todoroki and Bakugo are able to get more screen time. For one, they're going to be able to finally take their test, and the reintroduction of Inari and seeing Cammy for the first time for real was very interesting, and it's kind of cool to see the kind of the one-off characters. In my mind, I thought they were never coming back, actually get some screen time, and coming back is great. Some of these characters I think are worth it, a second shot, being able to see again, learn more about them. I think that's amazing. But I'm just curious what's how this is going to go, but also Endeavor wanting to talk to All Might, I think can be kind of interesting because Endeavor, I think at this point probably has a lot more stress on himself because he's having to cover for to be the #1 hero, which is funny because that's part of what he's wanted this whole time, is to be the #1, to be over All Might. Now that he has it, I'm curious of what his thinking is. It'd be nice to know what he actually thinks about this stuff, or will he even talk about it. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button. Check out my Patreon at patreon.com/AJRich123. And let's go ahead and start. All right.
Hey, Todoroki, what kind of food do you like? Soba, cold. Man, I like my noodles piping hot.
Way to get to the point. They can be best buddies now.
That guy's ridiculous.
Sorry about that. I've actually been afraid of falling asleep recently.
This guy never sleeps.
Today will be fun.
Shoto!
He's probably not happy.
Yeah. First place. Show these weaklings that you're in a completely different league.
What? No way.
I mean, they're not fighting each other, are they?
Why is he here?
Oh yeah, I forgot about their past too.
You're in my way. Are you guys seeing this?
Whoa! All Might!
So much for keeping a low profile.
I forgot a lot of them aren't used. We see All Might all the time, and he's obviously a teacher at UA, but another thing we don't really realize is he's not seen as much or at all to a lot of the other schools or to everybody else. So he's more of a celebrity. We see him so much, it's more of, and the people at UA see him so much, it's normal stuff. So to see that reaction, I guess, kind of makes sense.
I wasn't finished. This girl will be joining us from now on.
Hey, second year at Shiketsu. The name is Kami. Hi, everyone.
It's right. Kami, not Cammy.
So
Kami, not Cammy. Okay.
The second exam.
They said totes to making an exception for me, which is wicked coolio, So anywho's, let's keep it fresh.
I have no idea what she just said.
Getting used to that talk is
no limits. She didn't even understand that something had gone wrong.
Much of an airhead.
I don't even remember taking a test. And you're saying I slept for 4 whole days? Oh my gosh, so embarrassing!
Gang Orca.
So, I've got even more disappointments today. What shame you must feel to be standing before me.
Of course he's back too.
Easy the exam was.
Did he forget he bombed the first exam, or is he just pretending it never happened?
Yeah, that's a funny thing too. Why does he have to be there? He can't even take the test again. Is this a boot camp?
Especially you! Do you even want to be a hero?
Well, first of all, I'm not a fish turd.
How you expect to be
I can't.
Just because you have powerful attacks?
Sir, yes, sir!
I think they would be great at boot camp normally.
You have impressive combat ability. Today, we will put you through a special trial. It's time you start training a new muscle, the one that beats in your chest. If you hold out a hand to someone in trouble, will they take it? Not
yes.
As you are. You need a special connection with the person you're trying to rescue. Remember that as you train today. Now, meet your opponents.
Of fucking course, they're students or kids. They're not their students, sorry. The people that they have to face are a bunch of kids. Like literal. I can't. Okay. Going from this super dramatic episodes to literally just ridiculous comedy. Like, look at this.
Children, I need you to try to listen and behave. Thank you for your help, Mr. Order.
Your first test, take care of kids. Babysitting.
You think you are, bomb man? Suck it up, brat.
We go from protecting Fortnite kids to actual Fortnite kids. You're babysitting Fortnite kids, literally.
You're one of a grown-up who thinks they can get their way by yelling, by not letting anyone else get a word in edgewise. Well, we're not impressed by that.
Tell me, what is it? A wiener?
Excuse me, kid.
The fuck?
It's a wiener!
I assure you that it's not. This is a first aid treatment for when help isn't around.
I feel like they picked the worst babysitters. This is worse than fighting like All for One for these guys.
You are, loser!
Oh shoot! I got distracted.
Yeah, so explain to me again why I'm part of this group.
You seem like you wouldn't be very good at this.
Hey, no, there.
That
There, you see? I get along super with kids.
boobs work.
I didn't know haters came this young.
I'm sorry for being such a burden.
I forgot that she yeah, she didn't get a chance, so of course she has to take the
No
test.
matter what I do, they refuse to listen.
You must win the hearts of these unruly youngsters.
What do we look like, nannies?
How is this hero training? Sit down, play some Fortnite with them, you'll get on their side. Just be really good. Actually, these kids are so young, Roblox might be more in particular to them. Go play Roblox with them. Then they'll be on your side.
That's it. The MC and me can't take it anymore.
The number of crimes committed in the past month went up 3% in comparison to the last few years. And yet, I can feel it.
They don't see him as
Some
the major
unseen
threat.
thing that you built up in your prime. What does it mean to be a symbol? That's what I want to know. All right.
First of all, he doesn't have the personality of All Might, obviously, but he's never, even though he's been trying to accomplish this forever, you know, Endeavor's always been in All Might's shadow. He's never been put in this spot where he has to be the symbol of peace. And the personality for people to look up to you is not just, it's just not Endeavor. He's more of the cut and dry guy that can do the work and is probably, you know, the best at his job, but he's not the one that's gonna sign autographs or be personable. Like, I just don't think they see All Might, or they see Endeavor the same way they see All Might, as a threat. But also probably the entire society, everybody that always looked up to All Might, they're down. Their belief in heroes are less, meaning that's why it's the villain's time, as they said. The villain's time is because now you don't have the people's hopes. You don't have the people necessarily on your side. They're more easily swayed. The people that might have turned into villains while All Might was like at the center, but because he was there and the way what he represented, like, they believed in it, so they never turned like that. But now it's easier, and when you have somebody that seems just as villainous as the villains as your top person, that can really change the mindset of people and just not put them in a good situation.
Did they really swipe your gauntlets that easily? How?
I took them off because it's too dangerous to keep the things on.
I mean, winning your hearts is like super vague, you know?
Try not to go overboard. This is still a training course.
Do they really need this? Does this need to be announced?
Teacher, got any special requests?
Completely closed their hearts to us.
Oh.
Understand that this is my responsibility. Will help lead these kids down a more respectable path.
Okay, so they got like the worst, like probably the kids that have the worst backgrounds or pasts. I guess you're still saving them technically. True.
I'm ready to go back to some actual training.
Maybe try not to make that angry face black.
The
The stupid teacher didn't fulfill her role as a leader, so the brats ended up taking over the class.
Probably the blonde kid that was talking crap.
Up and hang him from a post to make an example out of the punk. Then we make the kids
No.
throw rocks at him. It'll be the most effective way to make them
Wrong.
realize what an insignificant
Wrong.
bastard we
Is
never
unique
wanna
the right
be
word?
Strongest, step up. Come fight me.
Dial it back, son!
Such an outdated and violent.
It's
way of
him, for
solving
sure.
problems.
Burned by an ankle biter!
Enough already. Just bring it.
They're having a blast on the sideline.
The hell they're not.
Getting to know each of the kids is the fastest way to becoming friends. Who wants to be a hero?
Playing
Yeah,
with
see,
kids might
he
be something
would be
Carlton
good with
excels
kids.
at. His passion always cheers up those around him. Perhaps he'll pull this off.
He started a running commentary. Doesn't heroic passion make your blood bubble with excitement?
Kinda weird phrasing, but it looks like this might work.
It's the job of a hero to make sure everyone smiles.
You gave the teachers and the commission guys more work by making them do this class. You can't become one either. Is that right?
What the hell? The kid's smarter than him?
I'd already climbed to the number 2 spot by the time I was 20. And
Which is
because
crazy.
I carved my own path, I understood.
He's been number 2 for a long time.
If I'd only wanted the title of number 1, I could have acted friendly towards everyone like you did. But no, I actually wanted to be number 1. Just answer me!
What is the symbol of peace, huh? That's tough. I'm not certain how to explain it to you.
They both
Wanted to
saw
be a
things
light,
way
a
differently.
beacon of hope, as well as a warning. I swore that that's what I would become, and I never looked back. Even more so than now. Everyone was afraid.
Yeah.
I'm here because I want to do something to help you. Please, All Might.
He inspired. That's why they got people like Night Eye, who eventually became his sidekick. He inspired people, and that's something Endeavor is not doing. His goal was to become the number 1, but not the number 1, just the strongest, not the number 1 in the people's eye as well. And it's something that you need, because if you don't, this is what we see slowly happening and what happened before All Might. More villains, more crime, just something. You need that light.
And you know, that's kind of a lot for any hero to live up to, right?
Exactly.
They came to watch us?
Being compared is
Whoa, is that Endeavor?
really, really tough.
Kind of random.
You can't compare him to All Might.
Take your time and think about the kind of hero you want to be.
Next up, Shoto Todoroki.
You're the number 1, but be your type of number 1 is pretty much what he's saying. I think this Todoroki might be a little bit better at it.
A hot guy who likes kids, dreamy. Doesn't want to be the same kind of ditz as her, so let's
Oh no.
Right. Burn.
I must embrace my past.
I think this is good for him too to see this.
My name is not Five Weenies, but to be frank, I've always hated him and want to forge my own path in the world
What
of
is
pros.
this? A character
My childhood
introduction
was less
page?
than
Come
lovely,
on!
you see, so
What the hell is this?
Turtle,
A
fail!
flashback past?
Wouldn't it be faster if we, like, just showed them how cool all our quirks are?
I was just about to suggest that.
That could help, possibly.
Huh?
Possibly
we have a lot
help.
of work to do.
No matter what they try, it won't work. Because we know the truth.
These kids are demented.
We'll take you down to prove it!
Oh, then bring it on. Let's have a proper fight.
Of course. That won't work.
Why are they having so much trouble against
These are like
Schoolers.
villains waiting to
The
happen
epitome
as
of
kids.
folly, my peers. If my peers fight seriously, the children will be left beaten, ashamed. On the other hand,
Obviously, they're not going to go
discretion and let
100%.
the children shine. Then it will only make the delinquents even more
Those children are strong and believe wholeheartedly that their quirks surpass those of the heroes. They won't hold back against your trainees.
These kids are like 5. Freaking hilarious. It's really funny that I guess they did kind of, for the first licensing exam, they had them rescue people or rescue Fortnite kids and rescue put them in weird situations, right? Well, this one is even weirder. Pick like the most disturbed kids with like weird pasts and like just troubled parents or whatever, and put them all in one class, have a leader, and then try to have like somebody like Bakugo and Todoroki talk to them and like make them end up like looking up to them and liking them. That is a hard feat to do in general. But my strategy for this would be, if you are like, especially since they're going to go and they're going to like fight them or whatever, you need to make it, first of all, make it an even fight. You need to make it like they think you guys are insanely balanced, but you also need to inspire them, say the right thing. We see Deku do this all the time. I mean, we literally saw him do that in season 3 to a kid. He was able to change his mind by protecting him, right? Well, in this sense, you're not going to be able to utilize like protecting them and showing them a hero in that way. So you're going to have to use your words and your actions combined to be able to change them. But also, sometimes you need to change the leader to change the followers. And as we saw, we have this blonde kid that literally doesn't seem to be easily swayed at all. So I think if you're going to focus on anybody, probably focus on him and focus changing on him, because if you change his mindset, you have a very good chance of changing everybody else around. Also, when I think about it, Endeavor being there makes a ton of sense, because this is exactly the reason why it's him like not being able to, even though he is technically the number 1 right now, not having the same effect as All Might is partly because he's not the same type of hero. And what they're teaching these people that are taking the licensing exam and stuff is the elements of being a hero, showing them that you have, I mean, obviously you have your quirks, you have your abilities, but you're, caring about the people, you're doing things for the people, you are being that, the ray of hope for them. You have to show them real traits of being a hero, and Endeavor just misses like a couple of those. But also, kind of flashing back to what All Might went through, he had to give up some things to be that. And even though he was good, he was that beacon of hope, he had a lot of things in the background that wasn't perfect, because he's centered on one thing. And that's what they're wanting. They're wanting someone like All Might. But finding that is just hard. I mean, All Might had that dedication and that commitment to that. And then on top of it, having an insanely strong quirk and actually being able to protect people. Endeavor has the strength, but he doesn't have that background and that personality to match that. And that's something I don't know if you can learn. I feel like you can get better a little bit, but having that, I think, is something you're kind of brought up into. Like that, you can change, especially at like a younger age. We've seen Todoroki. I think Todoroki and Bakugo are good examples, but actually Bakugo still feels like he's still not quite there. I think Todoroki has had the most change when it comes to full flipping his personality and actually not getting out of that hate my dad, but also like keeping all these feelings down and all that stuff. He's changed to be more of thinking of everybody else than just himself. And because of that, maybe Endeavor can learn from if Todoroki can become better, maybe he can learn from his son and take some of the stuff that Todoroki has learned and apply it. That would probably be the best case scenario for Endeavor, because he has that strength and he's in that spot now. The sooner the better, because if not, things are just going to get worse. As they say, the crime is going up, and they really need to pull that off, or bad things are going to happen. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button. You can also check out my Patreon at patreon.com/AJRich123, as well as my Twitch, twitch.tv/AJRich for streams. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.